What is up? Welcome back to Banger Broadcast. We have another episode of the Banger Bracket coming in, and this year we're doing 2017. So 2017 was kind of I don't know. It was so crowded, but also that span of 16, 17, and 18 for me kind of just blended together, and I feel like I forgot about a lot of these kind of middle of the pack releases. But so there's a lot of discussion to get to the top 10, but again, I'll glaze over the premise here. We're comparing and battling out our favorite albums, our top 10 favorite albums of the year, kind of like backyard football style, where Eric gets his pick, I get my pick, and we just go down from 1 seeds to 5 seeds. So we'll go over those real quick. Eric?
Yep. My first pick was Flower Boy from Tyler, the Creator.
Mine was Damn by Kendrick.
My second pick was Playboy Cardi by Playboy Cardi.
My second pick was More Life by Drake.
My third pick was Cozy Tapes Volume 2, Too Cozy from A$AP Mob.
My third was 444, Jay-Z.
My 4 was Culture from Migos.
My 4 was Love is Rage 2, Lil Uzi.
My 5 was Pretty Girls Like Trap Music from 2 Chainz.
And my 5 was Mansions by Mansions.
And then do we want to go over some of the
I'll just read them out, man, because like I said, there was a ton of releases in 2017, but Hendrix, Future had 3. Hendrix, Future, and Super Slimy, all by Future. Something that was kind of on the fence here was Brockhampton. If you remember Brockhampton, I mean, they might have been one of the biggest groups of the year, but we didn't put them in the top 10 because between Saturation 2, and Saturation 3, there was just 40 songs that came out. It was hard to pick one album that was defining of the year.
Exactly.
You got wins. Still, I love Brockhampton though. So wins and losses, Meek Mill, Without Warming, Painting Pictures, Kodak. I mean, there was a couple big songs that came from that album, but we're missing it from the top 10. Good for You, Amine, another really, really strong pick that almost made its way in. Still Striving, A Love Letter to You, Pressure, Cybersex. I'm a Black Bear fan. I'm not afraid to say it, but Big Fish Theory, Six Dogs. I don't know if I shared this on the pod, on one of the earlier episodes, but Six Dogs or Fago Dreams is actually my most listened to song of last year for no reason. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it was my most listened to. Catchy as hell.
Such a random one.
The Autobiography, Issa album, At What Cost, and then All American Badass. So let's just get into it, why don't we? I mean, is there anything else to say about the year?
Nope. I think we covered it.
No, the only we always try to think of a defining moment of the year. 2017 was so mid. It's just a mid-year to be alive, between 16 and 18. And I mean, Eric, move your head. This is really the only defining moment of the year.
Yeah, I always try to put up for those listening on Spotify, I have a background on my Zoom video, and we always try to do a specific background that caters to the year we're covering. Yeah. So Michael and I were talking before we started recording. We were like, what are we gonna put as what happened in 2017? And we couldn't figure out what happened. So we're like,
the Patriots comeback was the most defining moment of the year for me. Exactly. That was the whole year. All right, so we'll jump right in. We got the bracket laid out. First battle here, we got Culture versus Mansions. So Eric,
right, I'm gonna run through the track list of Culture. We got Culture, T-Shirt, Call Casting, Bad and Bougie, Get Right Witcha, Slippery, Big on Big, What the Price, Brown Paper Bag, Deads, All Ass, Kelly Price, and Out Your Way. And they're going against, what was it again? Mansions. So we have the Mansions. And for those of you who don't know, Mansions is a duo consisting of Black Bear and Mike Posner. Yeah, okay. We got Snooze Fest, My Beloved, STFU, Dennis Rodman, I'm Thinking About Horses, Nobody Knows, A Million Miles, Wicked, Rich White Girls, Strip Club, White Linen, Gorgeous, and The Life of a Troubadour.
So, Troubadour.
Sorry.
And that's actually the best song on the album. That's the best song on the album right there. If you listen to nothing else. And I just want to spew about Mansions for a second, is because it is very hidden. Not a lot of people have heard this, I don't think. Maybe everybody has, and I'm basic too, but if you haven't heard it, go listen to Mansions. That collab with Black Bear, I already said I'm a Black Bear fan, but it was a very different sound than normal Black Bear, and everything about it came off as just your traditional rap, but mixed with a lot more pop. And I feel that was brought to the table with Mike Posner a little bit, but everything, it was it's one of those, like, there's not a lot on the album. I forget if that's 11 songs, 12, like, I don't know what it
Yeah,
is, but
12 maybe,
yeah, so it was just
13.
straight content, and I mean, like, I really can't, like, praise that enough. That must be, like, one of my favorite albums of this entire decade, quite honestly, of, like, just a straight hit, something that I listen to literally all the time, but, I don't really know if that many people get with it. Culture on the oth that might be the exact opposite for me, because it's like,
Yeah.
I don't listen to it that much, and I've been, like, a notorious Migos hater, but this
Oh,
was
I didn't know
definitely,
this.
well, I it I don't know, it's like the mumble rap, but even, like, we'll talk about Cardi in a little bit. Something about Cardi gets me so
Cardi's a
hyped,
special
so hyped.
special breed, but we'll get into that.
It's mumble rap and just, like, the premise of being able to kinda just say a couple words and then throw in an ad lib and then call it a hit. Just
Like
rub me the wrong way. Like, it's just like,
like, "Hey, mama!" Like
yeah,
those
it's just
ad
like
libs, yeah.
mixing dope in the trap house. Kick it,
Cook it. Yeah.
take off. Like,
No, Migos aren't for everyone, but you have to realize, like, when Culture came out, it was a big deal.
it
I
was
mean
like it was a culture. Like,
Bad and Bougie was on the top of the charts for, like, months on months and months, and then
Bougie and then, T-shirt, I feel like
T-Shirt, Slippery, Get Right Witcha,
yeah.
What the Price, Kelly Price. I mean, there's a lot of good
Kelly
songs.
Price is a hidden favorite for me.
No, Kelly Price is really good.
I mean, like, I don't have a lot of conviction for this battle, right here. Like, I know culture, it played a big part, like, regardless of my opinion, it played a big part in music, and I think this was definitely also, like, this was part of the era. Like, I feel like between culture and I mean, I'm not categorizing things together here, but, like, when Migos, Kodak, 21 Savage, they were all dropping hits this year, and it became something that, like, people, like, you don't give a shit about what they're saying or what it
Yeah,
means
it's
or
just trap music.
what the theme is or, like, any other superficial definitions you could tie to the album. It's just a matter of, like, this is kinda fire, and I feel like everybody was kinda getting into it, and culture also kinda, like, it sparked everything the Migos did from there on out, so, like, I mean, your pick, Eric, go for it. You can like I said, I'm gonna regardless of the pick, Mansions is
No,
a high
I
caliber
have a lot
album.
of love for them as well, but we also have to consider the year we're looking at, and no one's claiming Culture or Migos are like some great like music masterminds or anything, but they found what worked for them, and I mean they blew up, they got famous. I mean
I'll
they
give
were
it to
famous
Culture.
before, but yeah,
Now hold on, I haven't started the tournament. How the hell do I actually even start this tournament? Where have I done this every other time we've done this before? I feel like there was a save button. Oh, there it is. All right, now it's started.
yeah. Sorry about that, but long story short, we're going with Culture over Mansions for this first round,
Yeah,
just
we're
due
going
to
with
the relevancy of Culture.
um. All right, so next up we got Love Is Rage 2 and Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. My number 4 and Eric's number 5.
Okay, I'm gonna go over Love Is Rage 2 track list here. And do you want me to include the deluxe, Michael?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, let me pull that up real quick. We got 2, 444 plus 222. Sauce It Up, No Sleep Leak, The Way Life Goes, For Real, Feelings Mutual, Neon Guts, Early 20 Rager, Unfazed, Pretty Mommy, How to Talk, X, Malfunction, Dark Queen, EXO Tour Life, and then I can't find the 4 extra songs here, but I'll get back to you on that. But we can cover Pretty Girls Like Trap Music now.
Go for it.
We have Saturday Night, Riverdale Road, Good Drank, 4 a.m., Door Swinging, Realize, Poor Fool, It's a Vibe, Rolls Royce Bitch, Sleep When You Die, Trap Check, Blue Cheese, OG Kush Diet, Burglar Bars.
So I mean, I I loved Love Is Rage 2, and I think that one was, like, again, of the things that I remember, just, like, the ones that I absolutely remember coming out in 2017 and, like, actually really being impactful. Love Is Rage 2 was
That
crazy.
was huge,
Everything
yeah.
about it, like, all of it, everything you said. Sauce It Up was actually one of my favorite, but, like, The Way Life Goes, I think that's one that was, like, again, because like, coming off of what I knew from Lil Uzi with, like, the projects he was releasing in 2016, I just knew him,
Yeah.
like, Canadian Goose, P's and Q's, like, Do What I Want, stuff like that, and then Love Is or, like, the Neon Guts kind of too, but Love Is The Way Life Goes, How to Talk, that was another, like
Yep.
when you kind of heard him get, like, a little bit more musical and then 20 minutes, and I mean, like
Yeah, I was about to get in. I found the 4 extra songs. We got Skr Skr, Loaded, Diamonds All on My Wrist in 20 minutes.
and so, like, that's another one where I think, like, I don't even know if I was looking at the Spotify, like, Wraps by then, but that had to have been my top
Oh,
song
yeah.
or 20 minutes.
Remember
I listened to that
20
on repeat. I
yeah,
could just
20
put it on
minutes you could play on repeat and never get tired.
I would literally put it on and just, like, repeat it through my day, and it was just that was a phenomenal song, and
Mhm.
Pretty Girls Like Trap
Yeah.
Music, again, kind of underrated, I don't know, like, 4 AM is okay, but
It's a pretty good song. It's a pretty
yeah,
good
that's
song.
a good song.
It's a Vibe is a great song too,
It's a
and
vibe, and then,
Realize with Nicki Minaj, good
Realize why am
song.
I blanking on the last one that I really love? Good Drink, yeah,
Yeah,
Good Drink.
Good Drank with Gucci and Quavo. Yeah.
Ooh, Good Drink is good,
Yep.
but everything about it, like, it was definitely a good album. I'm not gonna call it a great album though. Like for me, actually, and yeah, if I had to pick a favorite, I don't even know if I go with Realize or Good Drank right now. But regardless, I think my vote here is Love Is Rage 2. I think Uzi definitely had more of an impact than Two Chains with this album. Like,
I wholeheartedly agree,
yeah,
and we can get more into Lil Uzi later.
absolutely. But I mean, trap music is good.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll go. Oh, sorry, we'll bounce to the middle here. We got 444 versus Playboy Cardi, self-titled, and I'm looking forward to this talk.
Yeah, this will be a doozy. I'll go over 444 from Jay-Z first. We have Kill Jay-Z, Story of OJ, Smile, Caught Their Eyes, 444, Family Feud, Bam, Moonlight, Marcy Me, and Legacy. And then we'll go to Playboy Cardi from Playboy Cardi. We have Location, Magnolia, Lookin', Woke Up Like This, Let It Go, Half and Half, New Choppa, Other Shit, Number 9, Do That Shit, Lame, Expletive, Yamin, Flex, Kelly K, and Had To. Alright.
It's so disrespectful because we brought Jay-Z. I think this is his third appearance in a bracket before because he's always just somehow in a year that we're talking
Yeah,
about. No, that's what it was. We gave him a lot of cred with Watch the Throne.
exactly.
But I hate to say it because this was a great album. And again,
It was.
there was a select couple songs that I just remember or albums coming out that I'm like, oh wow, like this is great. And like you can kind of link the album and the year together. Some other things are just like, oh, that came out this year, but 444 was like when I heard the story of OJ, I'm like, Jay is back, and everything about it. I mean, 444, the song, Family Feud, and Bam, Moonlight's another one that I think like I really liked, but the Family Feud with Beyonce, that was one that I remember I listened to with Eric one time. And I'm like, are you like are you digging this album, or is that like did I miss something here? Because we knew it wasn't like his best work ever, but like when I put on that song, I'm like, okay, it's definitely like it's top quality, but it's also like there's some songs in here that just don't jive with me as well. As a project, I love it, and I kind of like the story behind it, and everything he was able to do. But
Yeah, the whole story about, his extramarital affairs
right,
or whatever. But I think it's just like a bit of a redemption
yeah,
album.
and I just think he Jay Z like we keep shutting him down early on, but I mean he's absolutely one of the best musicians in our lifetime, and just to be able to like kind
Oh
of do
yeah,
this stuff and be poetic and how he just creates something out of thin air like this. But then I'm gonna destroy all this commentary because I gotta say my pick here is Playboy Cardi. I mean Eric, we were making the picks for this album, and it was kind of funny because you saw the options, and I'm like, yeah, we know our first picks, and there's a lot here to discuss in the rest. And like Eric's like my number two Playboy Cardi. I was like, wait, like really? Play what? Playboy Cardi is your number two album pick right here? He's like, no,
yep.
absolutely. And I was like hesitant. I almost thought it was funny for a little bit, but then right when we finished the picks, I listened to the rest. I listened straight through, and I'm like, no, he's right. He's right. I knew like because I mean the critique against Playboy Cardi for anybody is like,
It's just
sounds
a
the
bunch of
same
nonsense. Yeah,
thing, nonsense, whatever it is. But I mean like I
I
gotta
mean,
say, like, beat is
he
half of a song. The beat's half the song at least, maybe even more nowadays. The lyrics, I mean, like, he could say nothing on a track,
it'd
but the
still
way
be a
he
banger.
produces, like, he
I mean, him and Pierre Bourne are like PB and J.
uh,
But I mean, like Magnolia, Insane, Woke Up Like This, New Choppa, Do That Shit. Um, I don't know what are some of your favorites from here. I mean, Location, obviously.
so, Woke Up Like This was my favorite, for a while, and I remember this was, again, like, I forget if this was his first studio album release. I think it was, yeah. But I would play it and like it. Some people I think a lot of people knew Magnolia, and you could know Magnolia without even knowing who Playboy Cardi was. I think it was just like that big of being heard,
Yeah,
by word of mouth or just like hearing it literally through people's cars. But when I would play "Woke Up Like This," like whether it's in a car with a group of guys, people would be like, "Yo, what song is this?" And I'm like, this is "Woke Up Like This" by Playboy Cardi. You know the guy who makes the like absolute joke song
yeah,
like Magnolia, like this is him. Like I love this song like hardcore. But like you said, like it's hard to pick a favorite when they're all so similar. Yeah, I mean that's another one. Like a lot of these fall into like my late night drive playlist, like Yamin, Flex,
I mean, Location as like the opening
yeah,
track for this
Location,
album. Like when
um,
as soon as it hits you, like especially like you said on on a late night drive like
such
that.
a stupid comparison, but it's like there was this whole like this meme trend going around where it's just I forget if it's just like Shaq floating, just like
Yeah,
levitating into thin air, and it's like the
yeah,
song is in
yeah,
the background, and it would
yeah.
always be like something. The caption could be anything. Like I don't even know, but it's kind of funny because that's the song I think of just to levitate into the next dimension. But then something that I love for no reason is on the song "Other Shit." Um, he has this little like it's part of the beat, but also I think it's like a vocal ad lib looped into the beat where it's like and like before every hook, it just like I don't know why it's just like so funny. It sounds like some just like him in the studio just listening to the song and he's almost just like approving of his own beats like because it tones down for a second then it's like has that little whatever you call it where it just kind of bounces back and forth and then like before the next verse picks up it's like but
Yeah,
anyways I'm picking Playboy Cardi like
I am as well.
it's a great album. So next up we got More Life and Cozy Tapes Volume 2,
All right, go with Cozy Tapes first.
and I
We
think Cozy
have
Tapes was Eric's third pick, More Life was my second.
exactly. We have School Bus, Perrier, Please Shut Up, Blowing Minds, Black Card, Walk on Water, BYF, Get the Bag, Bahamas, Principal Daryl Chode, Frat Rules, FYBR, Feels So Good, Coziest, What Happens, RAF, and Last Day of School.
I was trying to just drink my coffee through that music. Principal Daryl
Daryl Chode, yeah. And then we got Drake with More Life. We have
Yeah, you do.
Free Smoke, No Long Talk, Passion Fruit, Georgia Interlude, Get It Together, Madiba Rhythm, Blem, 4422, Guy Leicester, Skepta Interlude, Portland, Sacrifices, Nothing's into Somethings, Teenage Fever, KMT, Lose You, Can't Have Everything, Glow, Since Way Back, Fake Love, Ice Melts, and Do Not Disturb.
And so for More Life for me, this was another one where like I think I was into Drake earlier than I was into ASAP Mob, and I would like actually follow along for releases. And this was another one like um this album dropped like right before Big Meat for me. And so when I listened to like Guy Leicester and Free Smoke, like those were my pump up songs of the meat. And then I just got like so into it. I'm like, oh my God, it just went hard for no reason. Everything about it went hard for no reason. I love Drake because it's like, he's not that hard, but like when he
Yeah,
makes a song like that, it goes bananas. And I mean,
Hollywood actor turned rapper.
oh my God. And it was just like, those are the songs I got into. But then everything else about it, like Ice Melts with Young Thug, that was, I think, a lot of people listen to that. I forget, I think the single for this album was Fake Love, and it came out like a
Yeah,
while before the rest of the album. So like people were listening to Fake Love and it was phenomenal. But No Long Talk, Passion Fruit, I mean, I think even stuff like Portland, Sacrificing, is Nothing into Something. Teenage Fever was another one.
Glow,
Oh yeah, like all of it. I mean,
and
like Do Not Disturb too. Like the outro was really good. And
And sorry.
no, I was just saying like it was very collective, and I like regardless of I feel like Drake switches sound so often, but like somehow like one album still just goes together so well.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a couple of qualms with it, but I mean, it is a mixtape, so I can't be too upset about things not like flowing perfectly and
Right.
stuff. But my biggest like issue with it is just how bloated it is. It doesn't need to be 22 songs. It could have been 12, 13, 14, and they could have all been like really good songs.
Oh, you want to do it better? Then go do it.
You're right. I'm sorry. But do you see what I mean though?
No, I get it. And Cozy Tapes, like, I'll pause there for more life. I mean, Cozy Tapes, I liked Volume 2 more than Volume 1, and I think Volume 1 was even,
Me
like,
too.
we made it pretty much a standout on the 2016 bracket, and I think this is, like, aside from Lamborghini High, I mean, you got Perrier, Please Shut Up,
Blowing
Black Heart
Minds,
was kinda good too, Get the Bag is
Walk
I think
on Water.
oh, yeah. I Frat Rules,
Yep.
I
It's just
mean,
so good.
even, Get the Bag is actually one of my favorite songs on the album. I just
Yep.
something about it, it's just like this very lo-fi, like almost just relaxing, kind of like nobody's trying to hype anybody up. They're just like in the studio with this, and I just love the background, like screaming in the background, like every verse, like it's a new day. And I
Yep.
mean, like I don't know, it's just like
That I mean, if you're an ASAP fan or if you're a Playboy Cardi fan, because he's basically like an honorary
yeah.
member for this whole project, you'll love this. So if you haven't listened to it, definitely go listen to it.
So I'm actually gonna shoot myself in the foot here. I'm gonna pick Cozy Tapes Volume
I'm
2.
going to double down on that with
I
you.
knew you would. So it's like if Eric's 100% there and I'm still like 50-50, then I feel like the collective vote is for Cozy Tapes.
Yeah.
But again, I I can't say it enough. Drake is a good rapper. You can fudge it if you don't think so. Like he has good music. He knows how to make an album. It all flows well. And there was like 10 things on that album that I still listen to because they're all hits. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right,
We're
let's move to the top. We usually just kind of jump through these ones like Damn and Culture. Come on, it's Damn. Don't I'm not gonna say anything about it. You can say your goodbyes to Culture if you want, but you know,
yeah. Well, for reference, Damn was our number one seed, Michael's
yeah,
number one seed, and it's going against Culture, which won against like a fourth seed. So
right.
I
You
mean,
can read the track list in the next round.
yeah, we'll focus on that the next round. But obviously, if you haven't listened to Damn, go listen to it. You'll see why this
If you
decision's
haven't
so
listened to
freaking
Damn,
easy.
stop listening to us. Like,
Yeah.
what you use so much better use of your time. Like, go. I don't. That's it. All right, Flower Boy Loves Rage 2. Like, I'm picking Flower Boy again. We can save the
Yeah.
track list as well, but I want to give my props to Love Is Rage 2. Great album.
Yeah.
I
We
love
both
Uzi.
we both like Uzi,
I
but
mean, just like that's how you can just kind of tell the flow. I mean, within this top 10, we had Love Is Rage 2, Playboy Cardi, Cozy Tapes. Like, I feel like there's this clustered vibe that people are going for in this year, and it's just like they all had their own part of it.
all right, let's
But
break down this final four, Michael. We have
damn,
Damn
Playboy Cardi.
against Playboy Cardi on one side. Then we
Yep.
have Cozy Tapes Volume 2 against Flower Boy on the other side. So let's get into it.
So yeah, let's start up top.
I'll
Damn and
run
Playboy
through
Cardi.
Damn's track list. We have Blood, DNA, Ya, Element, Feel, Loyalty, Pride, Humble, Lust, Love, XXX, Fear, God, and Duckworth. I mean, a lot of bangers. And then we already went over Playboy Cardi here.
Playboy is good, and I know it's your number 2, but there's no way. Like I'm letting Damn go through with so little resistance right now.
Oh, and I'm not gonna fight you on it either. But let's talk a little bit about Damn while we're here.
Oh,
Let me pull it up again. I mean, everyone's heard probably DNA and Humble and stuff like that, but I'm gonna list some of my favorite songs that like are a bit deeper in the album. Like if you don't listen to it on like a surface level, you have Pride, which is so freaking good, like so good. One of my favorite Kendrick songs of all time. Lust, I personally love it. I know there's some people who don't love it, but I love Lust too. And XXX is so freaking good.
XXX was one of my favorites.
It's so good, like insanely good.
And then
The U2 feature. And
so
then
XXX, I think DNA is also one of my other favorites.
yeah, DNA is great.
Well, I'll just
I
go
mean,
through
Element's insane.
DNA, Element, XXX, and Duckworth is my. I
Yeah, Duckworth.
think Duckworth might actually be my favorite on
That's
the album.
pretty.
And so here's why. Here's why. I think every other album by Kendrick, with Good Kid, Mad City, and then To Pimp a Butterfly. I mean, Section 82. It's like there's a lot more to do with like a certain storyline, or even just like the interludes that kind of play throughout. Like in Good Kid, Mad City, the phone call interludes, in To Pimp a Butterfly, like the poem that kind of builds throughout. Here, it's like it's more direct. I feel like you kind of just have to listen to the whole album, and there's parts where it feels like it flows, and there's parts where it's like kind of just takes a step off, but like it all does play into this like bigger picture. And I mean, like there's a lot more. Again, to hype up the Dissect podcast, I mean, there was a lot more like cultural and even biblical reference in this album that
a lot.
went completely over my head. But then when you listen to it in that lens, it kind of just like again coheses it together. But then Duckworth is the one where it's like at the very end of the album, he actually kind of it was like one it was like when you make a presentation with all of this pages of like just info and content, and then you just have this one giant paragraph to be like in conclusion. And the whole song of Duckworth, I mean, it goes all over like more from his past, more from his parents, more from his influence, like the events that happen. When he gets really specific into that storytelling aspect of like just like everything that like where he was working when he met this guy or when he saw this guy got shot, like all these details. It's so detailed. And then he like it kind of like at the very end plays into like this whole thing of coincidence, and then like so here's something that I also never really picked on, but like the whole idea of like sequence in the album, the sequence, the loops, the timing, the like precision of where a song is placed. And there's always been speculation about like the album, like if it makes sense in reverse, like if you were to do this in reverse and you get like the different perspective, or even coming up on the same story. And then my favorite thing is so the album begins, and I'm actually getting goosebumps right now from the very first song when it's just like a story. It's like, so I met this woman, and like it's talking about like the blind woman, and like then it's just like it builds up, and it sounds like the story. It sounds like something. And it's like you have lost something, you've lost your life, and then it's just like a gun pop, and then it just like starts the rest of the album. And then the end of Duckworth, like the very last thing is and died in a gunfight in the same gun pop, and then it like does this like weird like reverse thing, and then it like skips through the different tracks of the album in reverse.
It's pretty cool.
All the way into like the last words of the album, where it was like I got. So I was taking a walk the other day. Like I just get chills. It was crazy how he does that.
Insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's truly a tier above the rest. Yeah, Damn's beating Playboi Carti, but
I don't even want to get into too much of a tangent. Like I'll talk more about all of it in that last this last battle, but
here we have Cozy Tapes Volume 2 against Flower Boy, and we haven't gone over.
We haven't said a word yet, so
yeah. Let me go through the track list real quick. We have Forward, Where This Flower Blooms, Sometimes, See You Again, Who Dat Boy, Pothole, Garden Shed, Boredom, I Ain't Got Time, 911/Mr. Lonely, Dropping Seeds, November, Glitter, and Enjoy Right Now Today.
So I'm gonna put in the pick, but we'll talk.
We will talk, and
like I said, Cozy Tapes, so much love, so much content. I love the album. It's not going to beat Flower Boy in a head-to-head, though.
I agree with you. There's just so like just the way this song. I mean, the way this album like is just like sounds sonically is just beautiful.
I think it definitely fell for like Tyler's trap of his early music of like, this guy is an absolute goofball. He just says like whatever the hell he wants and puts a beat over it and calls it
music. Here he really goes into like more like meaningful stuff when he like talks about like his sexuality, and then like stuff that actually affects him and how he's falling for more like material things as he like becomes more famous, and he questions whether or not like this fame will like sustain itself, or will he fall into like a forgotten person? You know what I mean? It's insanely good.
It's like a reflection album for him, and I think a lot of artists similar to him have that. I mean, if you're able to express it and articulate it, and I think like if we think about this, Damn actually kind of does the same thing for Kendrick. I feel like Kendrick was more prominent from the get-go, but he talks about in this, like his roots, like where it started, like how people wrote him off, like the reasons he can do what he can do now because of like coming out with Goblin and coming out with, like everything else that he, I it all just kind of started at this weird path for him, and then he was able to just turn it into Flower Boy, which is like actually like it's a composition. It's not just like some random
Yeah,
music.
and then Flower Boy like starts the dominoes falling, which like makes Igor, and then
Oh
Call
yeah,
Me If You Get Lost, which are just like he just this is where I believe like he went
yeah.
from his
Those
like
three albums were like you could boil Tyler to those three albums right now. It's just so crazy that it's the same guy who in
yeah,
2014 was
it's hard
coming
to
out with
imagine.
or 20 whatever it was 2012 was coming out with Goblin. It's just crazy. Um, so I don't like. We'll talk about it in the end. Actually, we're already here at the end, so sorry to Cozy Tapes, but let's just. I'm actually just picking up this conversation with Flower Boy. I feel like we have a train of thought here. But
Yes.
the finals here is Damn versus Flower Boy. Both of our number one seeds.
Let's continue talking about Flower Boy then for a little bit.
So
What?
I think
Go ahead.
here's the other like I always love an album with theme. I love an album with like a story, a path you can follow. I think that like that shows the true talent of an artist more than just making a bar.
Yep.
And so first of all, there's a lot of like sonic composition that goes into it where things play into each other, but also like again, it's not until you kind of I had to listen to it a couple times until you understand like this was all basically like this was like one car ride if you think about it that way. Like from the get go, I mean, like almost every song involves like something where you hear his McLaren zooming off,
Yeah.
or like something where he like hits the pothole, or in Garden Shed when he actually like you hear his door close and then he like goes out and you hear the shedd door opening,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Everything about it, or on I Ain't Got Time, like he's actually like turning on the radio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think it was so cool to play into the album, and then I never noticed this till very recently. On Flower Boy, it's just him standing in the field or whatever. This isn't going to focus, but standing in this field of flowers, and you can see in the very back there's his white McLaren, which is like he's very known for driving around his McLaren. You see this white McLaren on the side of the road with both the doors up, like it was just like him getting out on the side of the road. Like he kind of had this whole reflection, this whole time to sit with himself to express these feelings, and then at the very end, it was like the resolution was he just like drove past this. I almost imagine it when you hear "Enjoy Right Now Today." It's like he was driving and he just saw this patch of sunflowers and he's like, "I'm just gonna go get out and chill in those flowers." Like,
Yeah.
that's what I see it as.
Exactly. What are some of your favorite songs from here, Mike?
I Ain't Got Time.
I ain't got time. But I mean, my favorite has to be November. I don't know why. Ever since I heard this song, like the part where like it slows down and then it picks back up with the original beat,
Yeah,
like that gives me goosebumps. I love November a lot.
he's so good with that kind of stuff. He does it with
Yeah.
all like so many of his songs. But trying to think, I think like the rest of my favorites would be like 911, Mr. Lonely.
Yeah. Do you like Glitter?
Yeah, but Who Dat
Yeah.
Boy, I think,
Yeah,
and
Who
Where
Dat-
This Flower Blooms. I mean, like all of those. But
Garden
then
Shed is really good too.
Garden Shed is a lot more like that's a very pivotal like peak in the album. That was like a very like real like not even a climax, but just like a very
It's very poignant.
I don't even know what you call it. Just like it was such a dramatic shift in the album. So I mean, it carries so much importance with it.
Yep.
But I'm gonna sway it over to Damn real quick. Like
All right.
I'm sorry. Damn won the Pulitzer Prize for this album. Like this album earned Kendrick Lamar, the guy who was rapping about gunfights in Compton a couple years ago. He got a Pulitzer Prize for this album. It was so like crucial to society more than just like having a rap album. Like this shit was important. This shit was important for people to hear.
Agreed.
Like America needed this album. This was I don't even know, man. Like this was so crucial to come out when it came out, and everything about it. Again, to with the lyricism of Kendrick, I think he packs like 8 songs into one. Like you just hear one Kendrick song, and you have actually learned. You have become a smarter person just by listening to this album, and I think that is crazy. But like again, everything that he's able to kind of weave in and out between like today's culture, biblical references, how things are repeating itself, like um, the thematic elements that he kind of keeps within every song. But then again, like even within those, he has these micro themes that his lyrics can just like paint this incredible picture with. Um, and like it's crazy because I don't even think this is. I don't know if what I like in order of Kendrick albums, like between Section 80, Pimp a Butterfly, uh, like it's all. This might not even be his top album for me. Not like I
I
don't.
mean, it's not mine, and you commented on like the Pulitzer Prize. I could argue he should have won it for To Pimp a Butterfly.
No, I think every Kendrick album almost.
Yeah. I mean,
No, you're right. To Pimp a Butterfly is my favorite by Kendrick. I'm gonna say, but
yeah, mine as well. And I still love Good Kid, Mad City maybe a little bit more than Damn.
I don't
Maybe
know.
it's because I've heard it more times. But
Like, so,
I mean, with Kendrick, his third best album is better than your favorite rapper's best album. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's just crazy that he's able to do it so consistently and just kind of like keep this momentum going through everything. And it's like every time I see a rapper like this, I think about it with all the greats. Like when are they going to run out of content? And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like they pull it out of thin air.
Yep.
So again, I think something else that I like is I don't like when rappers try to pace themselves. I think Drake paces himself. That's one thing that I'll give you. Or he just kind of gives you watered down versions sometimes, and releases these albums with too many songs that it could have, like you mentioned, for More Life. But Flower Boy was one where I think like this was building up for so long. This was
Yeah.
like a bottle.
And I saw an interview where like Tyler plans his albums like ahead,
Yeah,
like years ahead. I don't know if you've seen that same thing, where it's like he already like had like the foundations for Flower Boy years before
right.
like making it. Like he like has seen his path, and he's obviously incorporating like new like stuff that happens in
Right.
his life, but like his vision. Not that it's like better than Kendrick's or anything, but I really admire how like he's able to like have this set plan and execute it so
That's
beautifully.
why that's why I don't think he gets enough credit. It's like I
He
think
really
some
does.
of the songs and content for Flower Boy was coming out when he was still just doing whatever the hell he wants, making tamale and shit. Like
Yeah.
he was already creating this masterpiece, and we didn't even know it. And he sets up a storyline here, by the way. Like this album goes into Igor and goes into Call Me If You Get Lost. This is the beginning of a new chapter for him, and I think like he really kicked it out of the park on this one. But I'm sorry, like Damn is too good for me. Damn is too good for me. And I would
And
tell you, I think we're both going with our number one picks here, but Damn would be my pick. And if you're saying Flower Boy is your pick, then we're gonna have to look at like what makes the best album of the year.
and I think I'm leaning honestly towards Damn as well, but it might be for a silly reason. I don't know why. I love like Igor so much, and like seeing how like in my opinion that was executed like with zero little to no
Really?
flaws. With Flower Boy, like when I look back in like in retrospective, like I can sort of like pick out some things that are like okay, he hasn't quite reached like the full tuning of like where he got in 2019 with Igor. So maybe like that sometimes ruins it for me.
You know what's crazy? I actually do think of Flower Boy as it's my favorite album by Tyler. Flower Boy is my favorite. I think
Dog.
like Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost are neck and neck, and then like Flower Boy I think was like better than the others. So it's funny you say that. And maybe like we'll have I'll have to re-listen and kind of educate
You
myself
really
before.
do. I mean, it has a bit of like maybe a rough sound when you first listen, but it
So did
grows on.
Jesus, and I mean like things
Yeah,
like that grow on me so well. But I think this is the other thing. Again, I don't want to play into too much of like maybe it's I just missed something, or like maybe sometimes an emotional connection could really like click with a person.
yeah.
So I'm guessing you just have this tie with or with Tyler more than I have with Tyler. But like, damn, I get goosebumps 10 times throughout listening to that album, and it's just like I don't know how very few people can make me do that in one album. Like very few people have the talent to literally hook me in that strongly to something, and like every song just shifts and can toy with my brain in a way that I feel like Flower Boy definitely didn't, even though it was a fantastic album. I just think like, damn, that's all it was. Like, is it one of those things you listen to and like, damn,
Damn.
it's self-titled in a way. Like,
Yeah.
so I mean,
I
I
think
need you
we
to say it. I need you to say it if you're
uh,
making a pick here.
the winner of the 2017 banger bracket is going to be Damn.
Agreed. Agreed. Oh my god, I can't say enough about it. I can't say enough about it. Like, damn is so good. They are so good.
I can't wait if one time we have a bit of a Kendrick themed episode where we can really get into our favorites.
Oh, that'll be a good one. But the other thing that I really did love, and this is another thing that I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it, the transition from Blood to DNA.
Yeah.
Because again, I've said DNA is like one of my favorite albums, but or one of my favorite tracks on the album. But when it like after the gunshot, when it just like kind of slowly loops in that Fox News clip,
yeah,
it's like Lamar stated his views the other night, in this with a line in the song, and we hate Popo, want to kill us dead in the street, show. And it's just the I don't even know the people who are the anchors, but it's like, please, I don't like it. And then it just like and then when you're listening to DNA and like this is it just transitions from the first part of DNA into, and let me be more specific, the last minute of DNA might be my favorite part of the entire album. Like that was the craziest couple seconds of rap ever. But when it transitions from like, this is why I've been saying hip hop has done more damage to young African Americans than racism in recent years, and then it's just like
the most ridiculous fucking comment.
My heritage, it's money and power that make it marriages.
Yeah.
Tell me something. Like it goes so hard.
It's so
I'm happy with this pick. I'm so confident.
I'm satisfied too.
Hard as hell. So all right, that's the finale. Damn wins best album of 2017. Again, we'll be making more content like this, but I think the next time we release an episode, it'll be something besides a banger bracket. But yeah, follow us along YouTube, Instagram, Spotify at Banger Broadcast. That's about it. Stay tuned. All right.
Thanks for listening.
See you guys.